When we think of magic, we think of tricks and entertainment. I don't think we really understand this art anymore, and this video is my attempt to bring light to the matter. I want to share my own personal experience with magic. When I was young, I started having strange dreams in which I would have an OBE, or out-of-body experience, in which I'd be awake in my dreams. But an OBE is more than that. I would wake up in the middle of the night and my body would be shaking, like electricity bursting through my body, and then bam, you start to gently float. You then notice that you can see your own face and you're in your bedroom. It's hard to move around because you're so used to the material realm that at first it's so strange. I think this deserves to be in a different category of dreams. This is an experience. This is something real. And at the time, I didn't understand that this was an OBE. I just thought this was being awake in a dream. So, this started me down my journey of the occult, or hidden knowledge. I soon learned that there was an entire arcana of knowledge behind this subject that I couldn't even imagine. I'm still trying to put it all together. But there's something really deep about this art, because when you really study it, and when you really look into it, you realize that the people who wrote these ancient grimoires and even modern occultists on the subject of magic are some of the most intellectual individuals I've ever had the pleasure of reading. It's the most fascinating subject ever. You literally are reading about the nature of reality. I want to stimulate that curiosity in everyone because I believe it's essential to the survival of the human race. So, what is magic? There's been many different definitions, but most modern ones being Aleister Crowley's and Dion Fortune's. Magic is the science and art of causing change to occur in conformity with will. It's the process from mind to matter, to think, and to make it so. I think the only trouble of understanding magic comes when speaking to the mind who believes in the cosmology of randomness. You see, modern science wants you to believe that everything is random. The universe randomly came to be, and then somehow consciousness randomly came to be after matter was created. This is what I have to try to get you to let go of. Because one, we don't know anything, and two, that whole idea is very religious, similar to Christianity. It's all in the faith of some intellectual terminology that in the end doesn't even make sense. Let's just use critical thinking and come to certain conclusions, and always be willing to reconsider them as you're following your intuition and putting together the different pieces. From my journey in research, it seems very clear that the universe is a conscious creation with randomness involved, even to the idea of fractals and it going down to the macro universe. Does reality exist if there's no one there to perceive it? Maybe fractals in close-up detail is a way for reality to make up for the fact that you're becoming aware of it. This goes down to the atomic level as well. If a tree fell deep in the woods and no one was there to hear it, did it really fall? Why do you think this is even a saying? It's because there's a deep truth in it, which means, without consciousness, there is no reality, and the whole world revolves around you. No, like seriously, when you were young, don't you remember? The world doesn't revolve around you. That's what they would say, right? Well, if no one told you that, you would definitely believe that, or at least I did when I was young. When you see the world that way, the world opens up to you. It speaks to you. You can follow different directions and truly learn what it means to be here. How could you ever do that with our modern cosmology of science today? I've met so many people that are atheists or just don't care type of attitudes, and it's all because subconsciously they think they know it all. They think they got the world all figured out. Well, honestly, I'm tired of it, and we need more intellectuals who are creative and have the ability to explore ideas that are not based on the norm. This world is a reflection of our internal self. We are fantastical beings of magnetic currents, with the ability to redistribute light and sound to create an internal-external experience. This is how we grow as a soul, which over the course of many lifetimes adds credit to our oversoul. This oversoul serves as the basis of intuition, magical insight, and the power over the physical realm. We literally create our reality, and we're doing it every second, with every thought. Reality is like a bubble that forms around the individual ego, and when you interact with another consciousness, you're forming a bridge in which multiple realities are being created. Your reality, their reality, and a shared reality. It's so complex, and I'm simplifying it right now, but this really could just be beyond our comprehension. The whole idea that our thoughts are private is false. We have lost the knowledge of our true identities. We are magicians, magnetizers, We influence reality with our emotions, our beliefs, and our thoughts. Our morality and our character dictate our magnetism, and that's why great men of leadership have always had a magnetic influence. In the modern day, we know of the law of attraction, but this is a new age rendition of an older idea, which is that reality and mind are integrated. Mind came before matter, and this is what science fails to acknowledge. I believe in the past, reality was different. It was more dreamlike. Think about it. What are dreams? No one really knows. Of course, the know-it-alls are going to say it's a simulation of different chemicals in the brain, but that's not satisfactory enough. I think the biggest point against that is extreme intelligence in dream characters. There are a variety of different types of dream characters, but after spending time observing, there's a type which seems to know way more than you do. This obviously can't be understood by the atheist mindset. Seriously, it kind of bothers me because in college I had a roommate who really thought all this stuff was nonsense, and get this, he didn't even dream. He said, yeah, I don't dream, and I was trying to convince him that he doesn't remember his dreams or he isn't aware of them. But some people are willing to accept that they just don't dream. It's sad because this is how much we've forgotten. I think with the new mainstream view on Magick and his traumatization with Satanism, it all looks like cultist insanity. But trust me, that's not what I'm talking about. There's something so much deeper, artistic, and ancient that really used to be an integral part of the human race, and now we've forgotten about it. May we channel Thoth and remember who showed the human race how to do magic, or how to speak, or how to translate thought into material reality in the most efficient, thoughtless, automatic process as possible. That's the meaning behind spell or spelling of a word. Words are magic. In short, magic is the science and art of causing change to occur in conformity with will. But it requires an individual who has practiced the higher arts of mind and who has a cosmology that is not constricted by limiting beliefs. Meaning, the modern man of science could never perform magic in a ritual sense. Of course, there's an automatic, natural magic that every individual does on an unconscious basis, but nonetheless, they can never really explore the possibilities of magic when it comes to the astral realm, elemental forms and influence of reality, sigils, and really indirect conscious manipulation of reality. That's what I'm getting to here. It's time to change our overall perception as a collective, because I honestly believe this influences reality in a magical way. In the past, we weren't all such know-it-alls. This allowed room for what we call now delusion, which of course I know it exists, but in unstable people who, when their souls and morality are not correct in magnetization, can easily fall into hysteria when believing such mystical beliefs and cosmologies. But the thing is, not everyone in the past was delusional. Like some serious intellectuals believed in this stuff. Like I'm talking from ancient world to the founding fathers. There's some deep truth to this subject, and I know that very soon it will rise to public awareness with an intellectual light. Thanks for watching, and I honestly want to make multiple videos on this subject. Just trying to explain it in a couple different lights, or even elaborating on anything that I feel needs more explanation. Leave me a comment on something that you had a question about, because there's just so much to say. Have you guys ever had an OBE? I'd love to hear about it. Thanks again, and